guys, my name is Ahmed. I'm a recruitment director. I've been in the recruitment space for over 9 years. I currently run a seven-figure recruitment company managing over 25 staff across 3 continents. I've decided to take a bold step and start my own YouTube channel, sharing with you my journey. So my life before recruitment, I dropped out of college at about 18, and I was just working various different jobs. So I got into like warehouse positions where I was just doing picking and packing. I've done various jobs like working in retail, on the tills, stacking shelves. I've worked as an administrator for a garage where I was mainly doing the admin tasks. So I was just running Excel sheets, copy and pasting. I was running an eBay shop as well where we were selling car parts. So I was literally selling the car parts, packaging them, and then getting them ready for DPD and FedEx, the delivery couriers, to collect them. So after working in the garage, running the eBay shop for about a year, I decided to quit. I remember putting in my notice, and I wanted to travel. So I decided to travel to Egypt for a year and a bit. So I put in my notice. I said I just want to travel for a year. And so in 20, I believe at that time it was about 2011 to 2012, I decided to travel. I went to Cairo, Egypt. I studied a bit of Arabic, and yeah, just enjoyed life for a year. Took a break from working, and then in 2013, that's when I came back to the UK to sort of look for work again. I remember going back to the same company, seeing they were hiring, and I was doing various different jobs. Directly just before I landed my first recruitment company, that was in 2015. And just before then, I was a postman, and I wasn't a postman for a long time at all. I was literally a postman for a day. So I had got a job at Royal Mail being a postman. I was about an hour before finishing my shift, and I remember there was a flimsy letter that I was trying to fit into the letterbox and it wasn't going in. So I remember pushing my finger into the letterbox, and yeah, as you can imagine, there was a dog on the other side and clamped on my finger. And as I yanked my hand out of the letterbox, noticed that part of my finger was missing. Typical postman story. I put my fingers in the letterbox and a dog bit it off. So yeah, and that didn't go well, and that didn't go according to plan, shall I say. Post my injury, I was off work for about 9 months or so. And then I remember speaking to a friend of mine who started a recruitment company. And I was actually having dinner with him, and he was telling me about recruitment. I've heard of recruitment, but I wasn't too sure what it was. All I knew was you're matching sort of job seekers with companies and making a profit in between. But I didn't know exactly the ins and outs of that position. He offered me a position in recruitment. I literally, at that time, I had no idea what I was sort of getting into. And I got into a busy firm, a big company where there's like 40, 50 people all on the floor, smashing out the phones, making calls, dinging bells as they make deals. So it was quite overwhelming for someone with my background with no corporate experience at all, to get into this field. So when I first got into recruitment, I started on an 18K salary. So I was taking home about sort of 1, 2, 1, 1 a month, which was a lot better than what I was used to anyway. So I was enjoying the job. I was working Monday to Friday, 9 to 6. I was making a lot of calls, so 120 to 150 calls a day, making sure you're on the phone for at least 2 to 3 hours every single day on the phones, sending out emails and constantly chasing candidates looking for work. And I was enjoying it. It was completely different to what I was used to. I was so used to working in a warehouse or working on my own, packing and stacking shelves. But this was more of a team environment. It was more of a corporate environment where I had colleagues I was talking to, and I had sort of KPIs, I had targets I was supposed to be hitting, and it was really enjoyable. Bear in mind, I went with the mindset of if it works out, it works out, and if it doesn't work out, I've got nothing to lose. After a month or so, I started making deals, and I was told as well that we get 10% commission for every booking that we make. So this was on top of the salary that I was getting. So bear in mind, I was getting 18K salary plus 10% commission of every booking that we make. On my third or fourth month, I was making for the company £10,000 per month, which was an extra £1,000 in my pocket for commission and my 18K salary. So I started earning about sort of 2,000 to a month, which was almost double what I was earning before. So it was like incredible in terms of my take home. I was over the moon with my salary. So I was enjoying it, and I was putting in a lot of hours. I remember staying till late a little bit just so I can get the extra bookings on the system. So a year went by and my desk started growing. I remember after a year and a half, I was doing 20 grand a month in sales for the company. So that was an extra 2 grand in my pocket on top of my salary. On my second to third year, I started seeing good numbers. On my second to third year, I was doing about £20,000 a month. and my salary increased as well. I got a raise for my figures, and I was taking home about 3 to 3.5 grand a month. The longer I stayed in the company, honestly, I just started seeing my figures going up and up. I remember on my fifth year, so in total, I stayed in the company for 6 years. On my final year, I remember the best month that I did was I made 63 grand for the company. So I made 63 grand for the company. So that was like an extra, so 7, 8 grand a month in terms of commission on top of a much higher salary this time I've negotiated with the company. Our salaries were really amazing. We were enjoying what we were doing. I got really good at it. So I remember on the fifth year, I became the top biller of the company. Bear in mind, there was about 40 people in the company. I was the highest earner. And yeah, life was really good. I was enjoying every moment of it. And especially at times when things were going your way, I was finding candidates, I was finding clients, I was matching them up one after the other. I was making permanent placements. I had so many contractors working for me, and my desk was absolutely booming. That was probably my best years in recruitment, I would say. On my fifth year, I remember my salary was well over 100,000. I was enjoying every moment of it. Things were just sort of falling into place. The clients just falling on my lap, candidates, and just matching them together. So yeah, things were going really great. That's probably my best time in recruitment. As things were going great, it was at that time when I've decided to start my own agency. I just thought, you know what, I'm making about sort of £60,000 per month for the company. Why not work? Why not try this myself? I've got the skill sets, I've got the know-how, I've got the knowledge, I've got pretty much I know everything that I'm doing. Why not then sort of work for myself? So yeah, I've made a bold move. It was a big step that I've taken. It was always in the back of my mind, when am I going to quit and do this myself? But what kept me in this position, I would say, was the salary was absolutely amazing. It was about 10 minutes from my house. And when you're earning so well and you're making so much for the company, you get away with a lot of stuff. I remember I used to come in late to the office. The directors were very happy with my performance. So yeah, I was autonomous. I was left to my own, and I didn't feel like I was being managed at all. I was sort of my own boss whilst working for a company, but there was still something inside me saying to me, you know what? Why not work for yourself? Why not do this yourself? Because at the end of the day, the perks of working for yourself now, which I'm really grateful for, is that the flexibility that I have. I get to clock in anytime I want, so clock out anytime I want. And the annual leaves, the holidays, I get to work from anywhere in the world now. And so you get a lot more flexibility when you work for yourself. So this was always my biggest factor, or sort of my biggest driving factor, which was I want to work for myself. I want that flexibility. I don't want to be told, okay, why you've not been in the office for a week and you need to show your face. I like the fact that, if I decide I want to work from abroad in a nice sunny place, I can do so without having to request time off work or without having to get approval. So yeah, the just the autonomy of working for yourself is was probably my biggest drive in terms of starting something myself. So when I first started my own agency, it took me 3 months, I would say, to make £10,000 per month. But these 3 months also, there was a lot of mistakes that I've made. There's a lot of errors that I could have avoided. But yeah, it took me about 3 months to make £10,000. I remember my first one working for myself, I made about £5,000 on the first month. On the second month, I still got the Excel sheet till today. So every month I document how much we make. So in the second month, I made £8,000, and then the third month, that's when I was making my first £10,000. And this was all from my home. This was working from the kitchen, doing long hours. So my main drive for starting this YouTube channel was just to share with you my actual journey, how I started my recruitment company, what tips I can give you guys, what advice I would give you guys as well. So the next video, I'll be documenting my exact journey, how I started my company from scratch, and what tips I would give you, what advice I would give you. That'll be dropping soon in the next video. Yeah, so if you can't wait for the next video, this week, Thursday, we'll be having a masterclass where I'll be going through how I started my company from scratch and what tips and advice I would give you guys. Head over to our school. The link will be in the description below. It's completely free to join. So make sure guys you subscribe to our channel. We'll be dropping regular content on how to start your own recruitment journey, as it was one heck of a journey. And hopefully you'll be able to learn from my mistakes, and my success story may inspire one of you guys also to take the same path I've taken.